Thank you, Madam Chair. And I believe we draw to the last bill of the markup, which is in itself always a wonderful experience after a day of actively legislating. Let's talk for a moment about H.R. 3063. And one of the most difficult decisions that a worker will ever undertake is determining how to save for retirement. This requires an individual to forecast decades into the future, ensuring one has the ability to navigate through life, family, and economic events. For many healthcare workers, teachers, and nonprofit employees, their retirement savings are through a 403B plan. However, those public servants in the 403B plans are unable to invest in the same cost-effective investment products that are available to all other plans, including 401K plans, government 457B plans, and the federal thrift savings plan. Since the creation of 403B retirement plans back in 1958, there have been many changes to how we save for retirement, both in the law and in the overall economy. My bill, the Retirement Fairness for Charities and Educational Institutions Act of 2023, will allow 403B plans the ability to invest in collective investment trust, or CITs, and insurance company separate accounts. CITs and insurance company separate accounts are both pooled investment vehicles sponsored and maintained by a bank or a trust company or an insurance company, respectively. This measure originated in Secure 2.0 last Congress, which passed the Ways and Means Committee unanimously under Chairman Richie Neal. The Secure 2.0 Act that ultimately became law included the required changes to the tax code, but not the necessary changes to security law. According to data from the Investment Company Institute, over the past 10 years, total assets in 403B plans increased by only 46%, while 401K plans increased by 88%, and government 457B plans increased by 82%. We have for too long limited the investment options made available to public servants, and this bill will allow for much-needed consistency across retirement plans. I'd like to thank the bill's bipartisan co-sponsors on this committee: Congressman Gottheimer, Congressman Barr, Congressman Foster, Congressman Nunn, Congressman Nickel, Congressman Flood, Congressman Lawler. I urge my colleagues to support the bill, and I yield back, Madam Chair.
The gentleman from Oklahoma yields back. And now I would say that it is time for us to move that the gentleman from Oklahoma, Mr. Lucas, the sponsor of the legislation, does have indeed an amendment in the nature of a substitute, I think copies of which were distributed in advance, and the clerk will report.
Amendment in the nature of a substitute to H.R. 3063.
Without objection, the amendment in the nature of a substitute is considered as read and will serve as base text for proposed of amendments. Gentlelady has an objection. The amendment in the nature of a substitute will be considered a first-degree amendment for purposes of amendment. The gentleman from Oklahoma is recognized for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I would just simply say the lack of parity between 403B retirement plans and other plans is most evident in the numbers. Looking at the most recent data from the Investment Company Institute, we compare the performance across retirement plans. In the past 5 years, assets held in 401K plans increased by 20%. Assets held in 457 plans increased by 20%. The thrift savings plan assets, which members of Congress also participate in, increased by 30%. 403B plans increased by just 12%. The disparity is truly astonishing and underscores the importance of putting 403B plans on the same playing field with other retirement plans. With that, I yield back, Madam Chair.